One traditional Danish pulse with bread. Perfect.
Welcome back to Padel on Tour, the series where we take a closer look at the growth of paddle around the world. My name is Filip Björne. This time we're traveling through Denmark. Known for its cozy hygge culture, innovative design and commitment to sustainability.
Yeah, a winner.
Welcome to Denmark! In this episode we will meet the rising star Oscar Seber Gormsen, talk about vision with Jakob Østergaard, walk down memory lane with Denmark's best player Espen Hess Olesen, and how to combine paddle with charity. Our first stop on this Danish tour is Aarhus and Packhouse 77's facility.
Jeppe, we're at
Packhouse 77,
Packhouse
yeah.
77, your living room or?
My living room.
Yeah.
My second home, I would say, yeah.
Can you tell me more about it, this club?
Yeah. Packhouse 77, we started the 6th of January. We have 15 paddle courts here in the center of Aarhus. Maybe that could fit another paddle court right here. Yeah. But we've been thinking the last year, 2 years in Denmark is a lot of people have been starting to the sport, but a lot of people also want to do the extra time, the extra leg of a game. So we really enjoying to see people taking this in and enjoy a cold beverage after. So what we try to do is prioritizing with a nice cafe and do a super cozy area where people can hang around. So when we started Center, we were not so worried about getting rented the courts, but we were super interested in how people was taking this in, and it's just been amazing.
How come you started with paddle?
I enjoyed my life as a consultant for almost 5 years. And I thought that was my kind of career, but I also had the passion on the side, paddle tennis. So I was contacted by the guys, super nice guys behind this center, and they were asking, would you participate in this new paddle adventure? And I came down here and I saw the facilities. There was just nothing in here. And they were trying to explain about the vision of the place, not only paddle center, but we also talked a bit about doing like a big sports center in the middle of the center, so trying to create a super nice place where people can hang out and they can enjoy. So if you want to do we do a running track all around the building. We do paddle courts, we do pickle courts, we do establish an area where you can play beach handball and beach volley. So I really think we have the facilities to create that kind of atmosphere that you want to be a part of this. So that's what we hope to do. That's our vision of the place.
Across town from Packhouse 77 we find PaddlePuddle, a club that this evening lent out their courts for an event that combines paddle with charity.
Here at PaddlePuddle in Aarhus, and I'm here with Henriette.
Yes.
And you have an event here this night. Yeah, can you tell me more about it?
Yeah, of course. We have the charity paddle event for the hospitalized kids in Denmark, and everybody who's playing here is actually fundraising money for the kids at the hospital. And we have a lot of ambassadors who's actually like to play paddle here, so it's a nice thing that you can actually combine the fundraising, having fun, and also do a lot of things for the hospitalized kids.
And it's full house here.
It's full house, yeah. So it's so nice. It's a great thing with paddle because everybody can be a part of it. We have some of our hospitalized kids outside and play paddle also.
Do you want to work more with this kind of events?
Yeah, we love to have the paddle events, and it's nice that the paddle will help us and use the place and use everything for us to be here tonight.
And this night, what is it about? Like, what are you doing here?
Actually, we have a lot of companies has paid some money for be a part of the event, and all the money is going for the hospitalized kids. And it's a place where you're actually having fun. You are, of course, everyone would like to win. It's a part of the game. So
don't forget that.
Yeah. So it's a place where you can have fun. You meet a lot of great people, and they do something for helping others. So therefore I think it's really nice.
From paddle charity to a paddle champion, where we meet up with Denmark's #1 in paddle to talk about the past, the present and the future of paddle in Denmark.
Espen, #1 paddle player in Denmark.
Yes.
We are in your hometown, Aarhus. Wonderful weather.
Yeah. It's very unlikely for Denmark, but it's nice.
Really nice, really nice. Yeah, how come you found out about the sport of paddle?
This was a long time ago, actually. I was playing tennis and I went on a training camp to Barcelona with my brother, another player and my coach. And my coach had played paddle a little bit before because he'd gone on some training camps and he showed us the game. And then after a few years, I think the first court was established actually here in Aarhus, or one of the first ones. So we started playing a little bit for fun, and then suddenly it got some attention, and then eventually I moved to Copenhagen. Centers started to open, and then I just found out I had more fun playing paddle than playing tennis. So I stopped playing tennis. I started playing more paddle, and then I think now I played only paddle for around 4 years now. Yeah.
And you are the #1 now. Could you imagine that when you started playing?
To begin with, I didn't even expect to play tournaments or competition or anything. I was just having fun playing. But when more people started playing, of course, I wanted to join in on the tournament fun. It got my attention and I started playing. So the experiences that paddle have given me, I could have never in my wildest dreams have imagined, to be honest. It's been kind of just came down from heaven right in front of you and then shaped your life a little bit also. So that's been amazing.
That's wonderful. How would you describe the paddle scene or boom here in Denmark in general?
I think I say that every time I've talked to someone, it's just growing massively, but it really still is. And I think that we still haven't seen the peak at all. I think there's much more to be done in the sport, and it's getting more professionalized. The Padel Federation is getting more professional. So it's still growing a lot, and there's still a lot of new players coming into the sport, which is always a good sign. And I think we will see that for the next few years as well.
And what's the next step for Danish paddle?
Paddle is more of a commercial, private sport here.
Yeah.
And I think in order for also younger players and kids to start playing, there needs to be some kind of development where you can join a club, pay X amount, and then just get a coach and play twice a week without it being too expensive. That's not where the sport is now, but I think that's an important step. And I know that the Danish Padel Federation is working hard on that. And then, of course, I think professionalize the top part, the elite segment a little bit more. But you don't do that overnight, but I think those are two important steps for sure.
I know that you and your partner Nils are very hard to beat here in Denmark in the Danish Paddle Tour. But do you feel that a younger generation is coming up?
Yes, for sure. I mean, there's definitely more players coming into the scene, and they're so hungry. They come from a different mindset because they started with paddle, right? That's really when their career took off. So I'm 32 now, so I'm like the older generation, which I have to get used to. But I think we have some really good young players coming up, and they're already challenging for and winning some of the biggest titles here. So I think Nils and I are trying to stay on top as long as we can, but we know at some point we will probably not be 1 and 2 anymore.
For how long can you stay at the top?
We take it a little step at a time. For now, 2023, and then January 2024, we will probably say that we want to do it for another year, but let's see how it goes.
We leave Aarhus and head to the capital city Copenhagen and to the Racquet Club, where we meet the founder Jakob Østergaard and the rising paddle star Oscar Seber Gormsen.
Racquet Club in Denmark, in Copenhagen, the capital. Jakob, can you tell me more about this facilities?
This specific facilities that we're in is actually in something called Kløvermarken. It's just outside of city center, and it's an old industrial warehouse. Indoor we have 6 courts, outdoor we have 4 courts. And 4 years ago it was actually been permitted that you could do a thing like paddle here, because you know, like in Denmark, when you try to convert things into other purposes, then you need to ask the government, and the government said, okay, this area is permitted for this or that, and This could be like a business, or it could be factory or industrial or whatever. So to do paddle, it's a specific permit that you need to have, and that's quite difficult to get. So my dream and idea was actually to do a place and a venue where you could have more of a community, where you could facilitate a larger diversity in terms of youth, in terms of elite, in terms of female, male, in different age groups, because at the moment in Danish paddle it's like 80% is men, 20% is women. So if we want to have that diversity, we need to do something that appeals to a larger audience.
And how do you do that?
Instead of just doing as many courts as possible, we try to give them a little bit of a comfort around it. So it will actually be a more nice area and a more appealing universe. We try to focus more on doing our cafe and our lounge. We try to do larger facilities for changing rooms. We have given some better terms for the youth, for our trainers, for women's groups, etc. Because the problem is right now, the guys who want to play the most and gets the most hooked is the primary target group that is like male from 30 to 60, right? And they're not as price sensitive, so they're just like, well, we just want to get the courts, we want to pay, we want to do what it takes. So for us, we need to kind of like invest into having some of the other audiences to play paddle by giving them some terms that they can actually accept and play upon. Like the youth, they can pay like 300 Danish kroner per hour, because then we're not going to see any youth players. So for that, we need to do a concept where they can pay like a monthly fee. They have two weekly trainings and they have a trainer, etc. The same for elite. We need to offer them some good terms for them to develop, and that's always difficult when it's like working at the moment on commercial terms as it is in Denmark. You have a lot of sports like football, like tennis, like badminton, everything. So the governments are supporting unions that are offering sports to members. So this is not a union-driven sport, because the problem is right now that this is a young sport that hasn't get any of the support from the government. And the government is saying, well, if it thrives on commercial terms, why change it? Because we have so much request from tennis and badminton and places where people go swimming, etc. Football fields, they don't have enough. So this is sports that have been existing for so many years. They've been waiting for money for so many years. So why should we go and prioritize to give money to a completely new sport? So I think where we should go is a place where maybe they will not give the full support like they do in terms of the other like established sports, but they will give some kind of contribution to help like certain groups, for instance, the youth, because if we want to make paddle to be like a sport for everybody, we need to make it accessible for everybody. We wanted to do outdoor courts, but we wanted to do something special. And this was actually something I discovered on a car trip, where I stopped by to ask actually the farmer, because he had something similar to this. And this construction is actually developed by farming to prevent the cows from having heat stress. So this is actually something where you're going to have a bit of transparency and light through it, but it actually helps not to make it too warm. And I really like the looks of it. Plus, of course, the idea of having something in the summertime where it's not getting too hot when you're playing indoor, because it's providing cover for the rain, but it's also providing shadow from the sun. So in the combination of the effect and the looks of it, we worked with this solution that we're really happy about. And the ceiling height is 10 meters. And the reason why this facility is really important for us is that when we have city central locations, the rent is really high. So we're a little bit more limited in terms of our concepts that we want to do, where we want to open up the sport for everybody. This, of course, has a much lower rent. We paid for everything ourselves, so we kind of like only rent the land, so to say. So for us, this is still city central, but it's possible for us to do youth academy. So this is actually where we're having our youth academy. And this is also where we're having our lead and everything, because suddenly we have available courts at a cost where we can actually invest into it and still have a responsible business, so to say, you know, where we still are able to pay the rent and pay our costs and everything. So I think that this in the combination with the indoor center is quite unique. And actually, we're building right now 5 new venues, and we're doing this solution everywhere.
And these are really popular also, right?
Yeah, they are. And even in the wintertime right now, these are booked like on a Sunday, like yesterday with high sun, it was like 8 hours a court. And a day like today, where it's still nice weather, but from 5 o'clock this afternoon to 10, it will be full.
So, Oscar, one of the best players in Denmark.
So we'll see. Yeah.
Tell me more about you.
I'm Oscar. I'm 22 years old, and I'm trying to make a career being a professional paddle player at the moment.
Yeah. And what's your aim in paddle?
This year I want to win some of the biggest tournaments in Denmark, including the Danish National Championship. More long term, my aim is to be top 100 in the world one day.
Okay. Tell me more about the Danish paddle in general.
It's evolving so quick, so quick. I'm really fortunate that right now I'm trying to make a career, as I said, in paddle. So I'm pretty flexible with my hours. So I can play at this time now. It's 11:30, so I can play at this time. But in general, it's impossible in the Copenhagen area to get a court between 3 at the day and 10 at night. Yeah. Like impossible. So everybody loves paddle, and it's all ages, both male, both female. It's everybody loves paddle in Denmark.
So the future looks very bright, right?
It looks really, really bright. Everybody loves it, and it's always a nice atmosphere when you're at the paddle place. Everybody is happy, and just a nice place to be. And when I'm done playing, I still enjoy hanging around this area because, as I said, there's just a nice atmosphere all around. You can really see that like the paddle scene evolves also with the elite players. Some time ago, it was almost only the 2 same couples going to the final. But now more people are playing more and are really getting involved with paddle, and more are really like going for a paddle career. So you can really feel that more and more players are playing at a higher level, and it's way more competitive than it used to be.
Yeah. How important would you say that Denmark got a World Padel Tour tournament last season?
Oh, it has a huge influence. It really woke up the Danish people to get to know what paddle really is. Because many people have just been going to the centers and watching the players play, and some of the best guys in Denmark play, and think, oh my God, they play really well. And of course they do, and we do. But it's just a whole nother level at the World Padel Tour. And I thought people really enjoyed that. And it was almost like coming here, but on a bigger scale, that everybody was happy, everybody was enjoying it, and the crowd was absolutely amazing. And myself, I was there and could just feel that everybody enjoyed, everybody had a smile on their face. And yeah, it seemed like it really woke people up, and now everybody you know, and you ask in Denmark, everybody knows what paddle is now. Yeah, that's perfect. For sure.
Thank you so much, Oscar.
Thank you.
I leave Denmark with a big smile on my face. This is the future of the sport. The Danish people have thought about everything, and I love their approach to creativity, innovation and sustainability, giving that extra to the people who comes to your club and thus making the sport grow in the long term. I am now completely convinced that the country will become a major paddle country in the future.